Alright, so if you're clicking on this video, you most likely are tearing your hair out, frustrated that you cannot figure out what this weird screen is that you're in Final Cut Pro, and it looks something like this. You're trying to figure out, how the heck did I get here? What is this? What does it do? What's it called? And you're posting on your Facebook groups, on Twitter, social media, wherever you can to try to get some help. Well, all the help that you need is right here. This is called the Precision Editor, a feature in Final Cut Pro that lets you take a more interesting, detailed look at adjusting the nuances of an edit point between two clips, or the edit point between two clips when they're covered by a transition like a cross dissolve. So we're going to cover how the heck did I get here and how do I get out of it. Also, a little bit more about what the Precision Editor does, something that I almost never use, but maybe for you it's something that would be helpful. All right, so first things first, how did I get here? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. The first is by accidentally maybe hitting the Control-E keyboard shortcut. If you select the clip and accidentally hit Control-E, it'll put you into the Precision Editor. And the other way that you get into the Precision Editor is just by accidentally double-clicking an edit point between two clips. And then you're in the Precision Editor. Now, how the heck do I get back out? All you have to do is double-click on this little doohickey here and it'll put you back out. Or you can hit Control-E again and it'll take you back out of the Precision Editor. So let's just really quickly take a look at the Final Cut Pro user guide to have Apple tell us a little bit more about the Precision Editor. So we've got Final Cut Pro for Mac 10.6.7 user guide. They haven't updated it to 10.6.8, but this Precision Editor stuff has been the same for multiple versions. It says you can fine-tune the edit point between two clips in the timeline using the Precision Editor, which provides an expanded view of the clips on either side of the edit point, as well as the unused portions of each clip. So if we double click and enter, you can see this grayed out area is the unused portion of this clip. This clip has a lot more frames that you could use to adjust your edit point. Whereas this clip, you can see by the red line on the edge of the clip, the edit point, it has no more frames to go. So let's check the next edit point. We can navigate the edit points while in the Precision Editor by hitting the up and down arrows. So we'll hit the down arrow and move to the next clip, and you can see this left side has all the unused portion, and this side on the right has the unused portion for the above clip. And then the clips that are not grayed out, that's what you're actually going to be seeing in your edit. So you can make adjustments to the edit point of the outgoing clip and the incoming clip. You can grab here, slide this left and right, and adjust that. And same here, if you want to shorten the clip on the right side of the edit point or the B side of the edit point, you can, or if you want to extend it, you can do that as well. What the Precision Editor is, I think, is it's a way for you to visually understand how these edit points work and what you can do to change the edit point. So what you would normally do if you're not using the Precision Editor and you want to adjust this edit point is you would hit T for trim, and you could slide this edit point left and right. Or if you want to extend this clip on the B side of the edit point, the right side of the edit point, you can select its left edge and drag it left or right to change it that way. Or take it to the right to reduce the size of the clip on the right side of the edit point or the B side of the edit point. Same thing here. You can do this and change it. And really the Precision Editor, it's just a fancier, more visual way for you to do those edit operations so that you can understand by sort of dissecting the clips what you're actually doing to them and what you have available to be able to do it. When you're using it this way to adjust your edit point, you're kind of flying blind. You can't really see how much media you have on the left side of this clip and on the right side of this clip to do some basic operations. But once you enter the Precision Editor, you can see what kind of media you have access to. So you can see that you can do all of your editing without the Precision Editor. But for those of you that respond more to a visual representation of the concept behind editing these cut points, it's just a great way to wrap your head around it, especially for beginner or early intermediate editors. Like I said earlier, I never use the Precision Editor because I have been editing for so long that I understand what it means to trim this clip here or to trim this clip or extend this clip, or use the trim tool by hitting T and changing the position of this edit point. Another way to use the precision editor is with transitions. So if you add a transition between clips, you can double click on the center of the transition, and you have a larger visual representation of this transition, which happens to be a cross dissolve. And you can actually make changes to the transition as well. You can extend it and you can shorten it. And this again is a great way to visualize what's happening underneath a transition. You can change where the transition starts on this clip on the left, the A side of the edit point, and same thing with the clip that's on the B side of the edit point. You can adjust where the transition ends on the clip that's on the right side or the B side of the edit point. And then you can simply double click and then go back to the normal view or the non-precision editor view in your timeline. So don't be intimidated by the precision editor. It's definitely a useful tool for certain types of editors, and I think it's especially useful for beginners who are trying to wrap their head around what video editing is, what putting together a series of images and adjusting these edit points, either cutting it to the music or feeling like the shot's too long or too short, and really dialing in and fine-tuning your edits. Something else to keep in mind is if you have clips that are above the primary storyline in a secondary storyline and you want to do a precision editor operation with them, you can't. The precision editor only works on clips that are in the primary storyline. So you can see I can access it here by double clicking, but if I go up here and double click on an edit point, even if it's in a storyline, I can't access the precision editor. Hitting Control E doesn't do anything to access it either. So keep that in mind if you have a lot of B-roll or footage above the primary storyline and you're saying to yourself, I really like the precision editor, I want to be able to access it and work with it. You can't do that when these clips are above the primary storyline. But let me know if there's something about the precision editor, maybe a feature or just the way that it's visually representing how a cut point works that you really respond to. I'd love to know more about maybe how your brain works and why the precision editor is something that is really useful to you. So that's all I've got for this one, everyone. I hope this video was useful and you found value. If you did, hit the like button. Think about subscribing if you're not a subscriber. Until the next one, I'll see you all soon. Don't forget, keep chopping that broccoli.